I'm from the future. I came here in a time machine that you invented. Now I need your help to get back to the year 1985.
This is Back to the Futures on the Hammer.bet. I am Pat Mayo, joined by Tim Andercust and Geoff Feinberg in their head-to-head season battle of building an NFL portfolio of NFL futures to see who is going to win by season's end. A lot of positive momentum for Tim last week, Geoff, although the tables have turned, it seems, and a lot of those futures which looked really good might not look so good anymore.
Well, I guess it's like with that he's playing a bad team, so he's got some mulligans.
You don't feel confident in your portfolio?
No.
Okay, you going to add to it this week then?
Yeah, we're going to add to it, and we're actually going to try to, hit a double, maybe a triple.
Okay.
I guess I'll lead us off here. At 7-1, guys, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. They are 6-3. They are currently a game. Well, I guess we'll have to call it a game and a half back of the Miami Dolphins because of that big comeback earlier in the year. But when their schedule of opponents, Carolina, Jacksonville, Denver, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati runs through, they will be the number 1 seed in the American Football Conference. I will take that plus 700. I did consider just taking them to win the AFC, at 6-1, but I assume our contest is going to end after week 17. So I figured that maybe shouldn't do that. Give me Baltimore to be the number 1 seed with the bye in the AFC as those Eastern teams beat the shit out of each other with a lot of head-to-heads coming home, and Baltimore just walks through it. Obviously, I'm worried about the Chiefs. I didn't forget about them, but, we're going to play. They find a loss or two somewhere.
Yeah, the Chiefs are 7-2 right now. I really like this. I didn't realize their schedule was so easy.
This is the best pick Jeff's made in weeks.
Now,
I love it.
Here's the thing.
This is a home run.
I know for the purposes of doing this, but I do want to lay this out a little bit because this happened to you, Tim, with the Packers beating the Eagles as the Eagles' first loss. Now, a loser on the futures card, but going game by game and just betting money line up to that point. Because I do think that the Ravens would probably need to run the table to get this 1 seed, right, Geoff?
They could probably lose a game potentially.
Yeah, but it's tough because they have losses to 2 of the teams they're competing with. They have losses to the Dolphins and the Bills in that spot. And they would lose that tiebreaker is what I'm saying.
Yes, they do, but it's also very possible it's like a 3-way tiebreaker, and then that sort of stuff goes out the window a bit.
And head-to-head only matters if all 3 teams have played each other, but in that instance, they may have.
But you also have to factor Kansas City into this too, who they could now lose twice potentially, and I think their AFC record would be just as good. So I would think that they would need to run the table to get the number 1 seed. That if you just bet all these games individually, and I know some of them are going to be hilariously lopsided based on these opponents, I wonder if it would be more than 7-1. I don't know if that would be the answer or not. I'm just curious.
Looking at Kansas City's schedule, this might be the toughest opponent in the Chargers they have left.
Oh, really?
Maybe, I guess, if the Seahawks, I guess, is the only other one.
I can see I could see the Broncos catching the Chiefs if they play again.
Maybe.
Just because
they played twice, actually.
Yeah, just
they played twice.
That defense seems perfectly geared to give the Chiefs problems.
Probably. But you know what? I think this is a great bet, Geoff. I think it's a great bet. I bow to you. I think you've got the better of the two here this week.
I'm pulling for straws. Obviously, we're now at the point where I'm not betting like these 100-1, like insane futures. This one feels like there's a chance, and I don't know if one of us if I pulled a 7-1, it might, change
might be enough.
How things go. So I couldn't just play for a regular season win. I try our wins over under. I tried to hit something, and that's what popped for me. I'm honestly kind of bullish as we go deeper that the Ravens represent the AFC potentially in the Super Bowl. I don't think that's a shocker to anybody, but based on them winning the 1 seed, I would like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many minutes of game time have they actually been losing for this year? Like 9?
It can't be much.
It's not much.
Can't be much.
Yet they've lost 3 games.
They're up. Yeah, well, they're up 17 points in every game. Just sometimes they give them away, and sometimes they don't.
So what are you going with as your future?
Tyreek Hill is plus 350. He's not the favorite to an offensive player of the year anymore, but he ought to be. It's an over-adjustment from Jefferson's performance last week to put Jefferson into first. But, let's be honest, Tyreek Hill's been the best receiver in football this season. He's been the best offensive player of the year, really, is these days is essentially best non-quarterback position, unless a QB has, an all-time amazing season. It's basically best non-quarterback performance of the year. And who could deny that has been so far Tyreek Hill? And if the Dolphins are going to continue to play well and they're going to continue to make a run, then Tyreek Hill is going to be a principal reason for that happening. And so at plus 350, there is still some value at taking Tyreek Hill to win Offensive Player of the Year, and that is where I am going.
Who was it who posed us the question of why can't Tua be considered the comeback player of the year?
Garion. And it's a fair question. Geno Smith's on that goddamn board. In my opinion, Tua came back from more than Geno. Geno Smith played better than Tua last year.
I mean, Tua also came back from being double concussed.
The Tua's comeback
even the comeback within the season.
Yeah.
It's all fair. It is all fair. And that's not to take away the other awards Tua should be considered for. It's just an incredibly fair point that if Geno Smith is up for this award, then the guy whose team tried to inquired with 3-4 other quarterbacks around the league to replace him is now second or third on the MVP tout. Comeback player of the year. And that's not to diminish the other awards that he could be up for. You're 100% correct. Quickly to Hill, though. It's again an award people vote for. Comes with elements of popularity. I don't know. That could be hard for Hill to get votes, but I don't debate at all that he deserves
That's a good point.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay.
I just think he's the best non-quarterback in the NFL.
He is,
right
but
now.
if the Vikings
get the
if the Vikings get the 1 seed, that would do wonder. Well, I guess the Dolphins could too. Yeah. I'm speaking from somebody who has a summertime, springtime 24-1 Justin Jefferson. So I'm liking what that tout board is showing at the moment.
What about Lamar 14-1 MVP?
I think that was my preseason pick. That wasn't Herbert.
Yeah, but just seeing their
on
schedule.
The cards, but
if they just start dummying teams.
You spoke about it being a narrative award, Pat. The narrative they would love to vote for is guy bets on himself without the contract, wins freaking MVP. We saw Aaron Judge do it. I think we'd love to see Lamar do it.
Did Aaron Judge win MVP? Have they actually given out those awards yet?
No, but
why haven't they given out awards for baseball after?
This is the way baseball.
But why? Why
takes place later in November?
Because they want a baseball story next week. But no one cares.
I was say that was great when people cared about baseball. Now just no one gives a shit.
Well, if no one cares, then let them do it whenever they want.
Yeah, but I feel like you could get some juice out of it if it was right before the World Series, or I think basketball does it at the right time, the first round of the playoffs. You just increase more going on with where you want.
I like it at the end of the year. I like it at the end of the year when the season's over. That I prefer. That's the way it's always been done, and I think it actually makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't make any sense because now it's going to get lost in the ether of football news and now World Cup news.
This year, that's true, but you know what? Whatever. I'm not breaking that stride for anybody else. This is what we're doing, and this is who we are, and that's the way I would look at it.
Football has it the best. Do it during the bye week between the conference games and the Super Bowl. That's genius.
That's a very nice way to do it, too. I agree. I got no problem with that. Hockey and basketball do it before the playoffs begin. That's fine, too. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I don't think there's any right way to do it or any wrong way to do it.
Well, I feel like how baseball is currently doing it is the wrong way to do it in this day and age.
No, they build up anticipation with the first.
But it doesn't. I didn't even know if they would have been given out or not. Because who cares about baseball at the end?
Then it's Cy Young.
Roll it out during the playoffs. Then
I like the week of anticipation where they build up to the MVP. It's ridiculous. There's something magical about that.
There's nothing magical about it because no one's going to fucking care.
To Pat's point, all those people that care about that are dead.
Or close to it.
I like baseball, but they think that they are, so much more special than they are.
Yeah. All right, that will do it. On back to the futures on the hammer.bet. Check out the Hammer HQ on YouTube, and you can always find this show on the Forward Progress channel. So remember to smash the like, sub to the channel, and sub to the audio podcast as well. Okay, for Jeff, Tim, I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.